Legion picks up days after the ending of Predator: Badlands. Dek stands over his dead father's throne on Yautja Prime with his new clan. Thea, the android who chose loyalty over her own programming, and Bud, the once helpless Callus hatchling, now grown into a lethal guardian. The celebration doesn't last. The massive ship Dek recognized in the final shot descends onto clan grounds, and his mother steps out not as a savior, but as a judge. Her name, erased from clan record decades ago, is Velkaya, once the deadliest huntress of her generation, before she vanished chasing a hunt she never finished. She tells Dek that killing Yor doesn't make him an alpha. It only makes him a patricide with no lineage behind his claim. To be recognized, he must finish what she couldn't. Recover a lost skull trophy his own grandfather failed to claim centuries earlier, during a hunt conducted on Earth, in the age of the Roman Empire. The film cuts into an extended flashback, structured like its own short film, echoing the anthology style of Predator: Killer of Killers. In a 2nd century Roman frontier city, villagers are vanishing near the aqueducts, and guards are found flayed near the stone archways. A young centurion, Marcus Aurelianus Rufus, is ordered to hunt down what locals call the Demon of the Waters before panic spreads. Marcus leads a cohort into the aqueduct's underground tunnels, a maze of stone channels, sluice gates, and flooded cisterns lit only by torchlight. What follows is a brutal, claustrophobic guerrilla hunt. The ancestral predator, cloaked and silent, uses the tunnel's echo and running water to erase its own footsteps, picking off soldiers one by one. The legionaries adapt, flooding chambers to expose ripples in the water, using nets, fire, and disciplined shield wall formations built for men, not monsters. In the sequence's centerpiece, Marcus corners the wounded creature inside a sealed cistern. Rather than be taken as a trophy, it detonates its wrist-mounted self-destruct device, collapsing the tunnel and killing most of the remaining cohort. Marcus survives, dragging himself out, clutching the alien's shattered mask and gauntlet, an artifact that will lie buried for 2,000 years. Back in the present, Velkaya reveals that Weyland-Yutani's MU/TH/UR network has been secretly funding an archaeological excavation beneath modern Rome after detecting residual Yautja energy signatures in the old aqueduct ruins. She orders Dek to retrieve the relic before the corporation reverse engineers it, not out of compassion, but because a human-made copy of Yautja technology is an insult that outweighs her grudge against her son. Dek, Thea, and Bud infiltrate the Weyland-Yutani dig site on Earth, a modern facility built directly over the ancient tunnels, its steel scaffolding and pump systems draining the same channels the legionaries once fought in. The film deliberately mirrors its earlier Roman sequence beat for beat. Flooded corridors instead of cisterns, floodlights instead of torches, armed WY security synthetics instead of shield walls, the same narrow, suffocating stone geometry. Dek isn't just fighting the corporation either. A rival Yautja bloodline has also arrived, wanting the relic as leverage in Yautja Prime's succession politics. The climax unfolds in the flooded lower cisterns, where ancient stonework fuses visually with modern piping, past and present colliding in the same physical space. Dek, having watched the Roman flashback as a test set by his mother, refuses to rely on brute strength. Instead, he reads the tunnels the way both the Centurion and his own ancestor once did, using water, choke points, and patience instead of firepower. In the final confrontation, Velkaya intervenes to save Dek from the rival predator, revealing she never intended to let him die. She wanted to see if he was worthy of the honor she lost while chasing the same hunt decades earlier. The film ends with Dek's group, now including Velkaya, recovering the ancestral relic and standing over the ruins as a MU/TH/UR satellite silently records them from orbit, setting up a larger corporate versus Yautja war for a future installment. The climax unfolds in the flooded lower cisterns, where ancient stonework fuses visually with modern piping, past and present colliding in the same physical space. Dieck, having watched the Roman flashback as a test set by his mother, refuses to rely on brute strength. Instead, he reads the tunnels the way both the Centurion and his own ancestor once did, using water, choke points, and patience instead of firepower.